Eco Roundup.
Radical Radio Collective.
4ZZZ.
Good afternoon, listeners. You're tuned into 4ZZZ 102.1 FM. This is Eco Radio, Australia's longest running peace and environment radio show, probably, because we've tracked it down to 49 years ago when the 4ZZZ started its environmental focused show. So we're taking over your middle of the day, middle of the week, start of the month airwaves. My name is Dave. My pronouns are he, him. And I want to start off by acknowledging and paying my respects to the custodians and the country in which we broadcast. We're located in the city Mangangin on Turrbal Yuggera and Yuggera land. I also want to acknowledge and pay my respects to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people who are listening in today. Our radio waves reach Cubby Cubby and Jinnabara country in the north, Waka Waka country in the west. In the east, we pay our respects to the Quandamooka people, and down south, we reach the Commanmary, the Garrigwal, Mununjali, Wunjarrabara, and Yugambeh countries. Thank you to No Idea for all the great ideas. I thought that was a very good coverage of chimpanzees possibly getting drunk and Max wanting to take them out on a date. That was very fun. And today on the show, we're going to be talking about some news. The election is over, so, you know, the campaigners can have a little bit of a rest now, but politicians, it's time for you to get to work, and we're going to be covering some stuff around that. You're listening to 4ZZZ. This is Eco Radio.
Your weekly dose of science on 4ZZZ is now available as a podcast.
I learned that you can hear the difference between different water temperatures when they're poured. I'm going to pour one after the other into a different glass, and you have to tell me which one is which temperature. I've got a hot and a cold. Right, here's the first one. Any thoughts?
Yeah, I'm saying cold.
It sounds cool, yeah.
Yeah? Okay. Here's the second one. Well played.
Shut up.
Search No Idea 4ZZZ on your favourite podcasting app. That's spelled KNOW, like no idea. It's a visual pun on an audio platform. I don't know why we did it.
I know why you did it, because it's funny. That's why. You're back on 4ZZZ Eco Radio. Marky texted in saying that we must be psychically linked, Marky, because he also was requesting Radium Dolls song, which I just played, Radium Dolls song Tractor Parts. I also played the Bottle Rockets song Kintsugi there. So that was a nice little bracket. And he also said that he's working on protecting some Gossia goniculata species today, which is a big issue for the prolific iNaturalist user Greg Tasney. I know that Greg talks about the Gossia goniculata a lot. That's the angle-stemmed myrtle. And with all Myrtaceae species out there, the angle-stem myrtle is being threatened by the myrtle rust fungi. But let's talk about some good news for threatened species. The smallest possum in Australia is clawing its way back out of an extinction spiral. So the population of pygmy possums in Kosciuszko National Park has returned to average numbers. There are now estimated to be as many as 950 adults in the wild, which is up from 700 in 2020. The possum species numbers in Kosciuszko National Park began to drop in 2017 during the drought there, with as few as 700 left in the wake of the Black Sun bushfires in 2020. Just for context, when I think about animals on the brink of extinction, I think globally everyone thinks of the giant pandas. Well, there are just over 1,800 pandas in the wild. So compare that with the 950 mountain pygmy possums. They're not looking as good as the panda, although, you know, neither of them are doing too well. But the possums are tiny, with the average adult weighing just 40 grams. Their body is about 11 centimetres long, but their tail is 14 centimetres long. It's a prehensile tail and stretches beyond their body, which is a funny looking thing. During a site visit to the New South Wales habitats in November 2024, Dr. Linda Broom, threatened species officer with the New South Wales Environment Department, said that the creatures appeared shiny and fat, with as many as 4 young in their pouches. In 2017, during a drought in their alpine habitat, the pygmy possum came under significant threat, mainly because it diminished their main food source, the bogong moth. Linda Broom, the New South Wales Environment Department's threatened species officer, and local students created bogong biscuits as a supplementary food source for the possums. Dr. Broom said that the National Park staff and the students had helped save the species by feeding them while vegetation recovered from droughts and bushfires. The decline of the bogong moth is really interesting too, because it used to be a huge food source for Aboriginal people, and they would have like a bogong moth festival. Much like up here in southeast Queensland, we have a bunya nut festival, which has happened for thousands of years, where people would come together and do ceremony as well as feast on bunya nut. Down south, they had, in the alpine regions, they had bogong moth festivals, where they would scoop up bogong moths with nets and cook them and eat them. Apparently, tastes a bit like cooked egg yolk, but I'm not sure it's a viable option anymore to eat, as bogong moths have been tested with high levels of pesticides or herbicides. I can't remember which one. So maybe not as good as bunya nuts anymore, unfortunately. Marky also said that he was working on cat's claw creeper down in Oxley. I once dug out a football-sized cat's claw creeper node. That's the they have 3 nodes underground as their resource for food and water. And football-sized nodes, which is crazy size for cat's claw creeper. Well, how about anyone out there text in with some wild weed stories that still puzzle you, and maybe we can get some group consensus on this. Text in to 0420 626 733 and let's get a conversation going. I'm going to play a song. This is a Mountain Deer song, End of Time. You're listening to 4ZZZ. This is Eco Radio. A little bit of a depressing bracket, but it's not all depressing, although we did get a text in from a non-sub. The non-sub part isn't the depressing part. The non-sub was saying that varroa mite has been found in Queensland. And so I looked into it. Yeah, it was reported on the 4th that varroa has been detected on 4 properties in southern Queensland's Lockyer Valley. So those who don't know, the varroa mite is a horribly destructive mite that infests European bees, and it's the first time that the world's worst bee-killing parasite has been found in the state. Rob Stevens, who leads Biosecurity Queensland's Varroa Resilience Initiative, said that the detection was expected after the pest was previously found close to the Queensland border. He also said that we are unable to stop the Varroa from spreading. So, yeah, that's some depressing news for you. But if you want us to look into any other news, you can text us here on 0420 626 733, or just want to comment about some of the news. I have more news about mining. So coal miners are being forced to rehabilitate a swamp that they stole water from. This is happening in New South Wales. The Illawarra Coal Holdings is being forced to pay $2.9 million to help restore 340 hectares of the Wingarabee swamp in the New South Wales Southern Highlands. The mine drained up to 5 megalitres of water a day without a licence. This is the equivalent of 2 Olympic swimming pools between 2018 and 2023. So the Wingarabee swamp is a unique montane peatland. It's rich in flora and home to the endangered giant dragonfly. The endangered giant dragonfly, or Petulura gigantea, can have a body length of 8 to 9 centimetres and a wingspan of up to 12 centimetres. They are also really poor flyers, so they don't actually fly far from home, from where their emergence site is, which makes the Wingarabee swamp vital for their survival. Illawarra Coal Holdings being forced to pay the $2.9 million. It's the largest agreement obtained by the watchdog, dwarfing the previous largest agreement, which was approximately $360,000. This payout has sparked renewed calls for mines to have to pay into rehabilitation funds for the end of the life of a mine, or for when the mines breach environmental protections. In Western Australia, the US aluminium giant Alcoa is being accused of failing to meet its promised trajectory of restoring the Jarrah forest that its mine site is on. The company is required to rehabilitate the land it mines before returning it to the state, but hasn't completed rehabilitation of any of the 280 square kilometres of forest it has cleared. That's some mining news for today. If you like what we do here on 4ZZZ, not specifically Eco Radio, or it could be specifically Eco Radio, you can subscribe by heading to 4zzz.org.au/support. You can become a member of the family of 4ZZZ and subscribe for as little as $40 for concession, or a full subscription of $80. I usually subscribe as a passionate subscriber because I love the designs that the T-shirt and tote come with that you get as a passionate subscriber. But if you're flush with cash at the moment, for some reason, you can go ahead and become a super subscriber for $500. We all need a little bit of help every now and then, and 4ZZZ is here to give everyone a platform, I guess, for grassroots or smaller organisations in our community. We are community run. We are for the community, by the community, and you can become a subscriber and a part of the 4ZZZ family by heading to 4zzz.org.au. Let's go now to Sizlami with their song Painted Tragedies. You're listening to 4ZZZ. This is Eco Radio. Welcome back. You're on 4ZZZ. This is Eco Radio, and we just played then Sizlami with their song Painted Tragedies. That's Sizlami, spelt SSSZLAMI. And then after that was Indigo Hue with Lilium. You're listening to 4ZZZ. This is Eco Radio. I am Dave. And our non-sub texted in again, said that the varroa mite was detected specifically in Tingalpa. So that's worrying. But let's continue now with our news. The election is over. Great. I'm not a big fan of elections. Not that they I'm a big fan that they happen. I'm not a fan of all of the rigmarole and lying and mudslinging and promises and broken promises and everything. It just gets a bit much for me. But the election is over. The federal election is over, with Labor having that big win. If we were to look at this from just an environmental standpoint, the election result was a type of rejection of the coalition's position of unwinding or scrapping nearly all of Labor's climate policies. Dutton was backing down of the support of the Paris Climate Agreement. They were in favour of slowing the rollout of renewable energy and substantially boosting local fossil fuel energy for the next 2 decades. So I don't know if the environment and climate policies were a big factor in the election, but it probably had some relation to it. So now that campaigners can take a rest and politicians can get to work, let's have a look at where the Labor federal government will stand on the environment for the next term. So the rollout of renewable energy will continue. This is underpinned by a federal underwriting program. It's a capacity investment scheme. This ensures a substantial amount of large-scale solar, wind, and batteries are built as coal plants shut down. The Labor government acknowledges that this taxpayer-funded scheme is needed to ensure that Australia meets its objective of running on 82% renewable energy by 2030. Labor has a Future Made in Australia law also, which introduces tax production credits for green industries. This is including hydrogen, aluminium and critical minerals credit scheme. There is a net zero economy authority, which was created to help fossil fuel communities adjust to changes with less fossil fuel production. There's also been a long-promised 2035 emissions reduction target. This is now due by September, and following advice from the Climate Change Authority. Anthony Albanese has also promised Labor will create a national environment protection agency, although that was promised last election as well. So we need to still hold the government account to its promises and not let those pass by. I promise you I will continue to stay on Eco Radio here at 4ZZZ unless I get ousted by somebody wanting to take over the Eco Radio reins. And the start of that bracket, we had Electric Prawns 2 with Computer Age Blues. That is our album of the week, and everyone is super loving it here in 4ZZZ land. Let's go now to a thing that I like to call the Bushcare Roundup.
It's a Bushcare Roundup. They've been pulling out weeds and then they put in trees. It's the Bushcare Roundup.
This is the Bushcare Roundup. This is your weekly dose of environmental volunteering that you can do around southeast Queensland. All of these events are fun and enjoyable, and they allow you to get a little bit dirty and get in touch with nature. Starting at the Saturday the 10th is at 9 o'clock. You can go to a Bushcare working bee at Smith Park. That's Lingard Street in Wood End. At 9 o'clock as well, you can go to a community planting at John Street Reserve, Mason's Gully, 65 John Street in Rosewood. At 9 o'clock as well, a lot of 9 o'clocks. You can go to Bushcare working bee in Moore Park in Indooroopilly. And finishing off Saturday at 2:30, you can go to a Bushcare working bee at Cribb Park. That's 29 Pelican Street, North Ipswich. On Sunday the 11th, you can go at 7:30 in the morning, Brandon Road, Bushcare Group Working Bee. That's Winston Street in Runcorn. At 8 o'clock, you can go to the Bushcare Working Bee in Opossum Creek, Lomandra Court in Brookwater. At 9 o'clock, you could go plant trees for Mum, because Sunday is Mother's Day, for anyone who's forgetting. That's a community planting at Jack Barkley Park in Bundamba. And at 11 o'clock, you can go to the Forest Family Sundays. That's happening at THECA, 47 Fleming Road in Chapel Hill. That's all time I've got for you. Let's send you off to the wonderful whimsy of Jordan on Sonic Aliens. I apologise if my music was a bit heavy. No one was here to stop me, so I played what I liked. And to go out, let's go out on a cruisy tune. This is Dub Marine with Inspiration Drive. You've been listening to 4ZZZ Eco Radio. See you later.